So this is something that is, ironically enough, despite the fact that I love D&D, especially AD&D Second Edition, I had no idea that these existed, which are the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Adventure Game Books. And the only reason I even know that these exist is because recently Liam from Liam's Lyceum played through one of these on his channel. He did a live stream. Let me go pull up the video here. I think I've got it tabbed. Um, him and his wife did the Spawn of Dragon Spear. I guess about a month ago, they did a live stream of this. And it took them about an hour and 40 minutes, and they went through the whole book. But I had never knew that these existed. So apparently, the Gamebooks series was a series of 18 game books published from 1985 to 1988, initially titled Super Endless Quest Adventure Game Books, as the books added a more complex game system to stories which otherwise share the same style with the Endless Quest books. It says that on the third book, the series title changed to simply Super Endless Quest Adventure Game Book, and it finally became the AD&D Adventure Game Book from the fourth book onwards. But what's really interesting about this, it started off with the Prisoners of Pax Tharkus, which is a Dragonlance book. There's a lot of Keith Parkinson artwork throughout, which is really cool, as well as Kai Caldwell. But I believe most of them are Keith Parkinson with some Larry Elmore. Tim Hildebrandt did a cover. Man, I remember being obsessed with the Hildebrandt brothers when I was younger. Anyway, so I watched Liam play through this, and they're not actually. I thought it was like a choose your own adventure style thing, but it's not really a choose your own adventure thing because you actually roll stats for the characters and go through an adventure. But it is meant to be done like it's kind of like a single player read along thing where you can go do it at your own pace. Um, but they published 18 of them over the course of 3 years, and they are not you can't find them in digital form. Um, at least not that I've found. I've done some digging. I've not found anything of quality in digital form. And if you want to get these in print, they are a pretty penny on eBay and Amazon. If you want to try to get one of these, because they're only a certain amount of them ever got printed, and yeah, they're kind of a collector's item at this point. Um, but let's go read through one of these. So the Ghost Tower, this one has a link to it. And it's the second one that was published um, in June. It looks like the first one was published in February, and they came out with the Ghost Tower, and this was Greyhawk setting. So by the way, it looks like they did Dragonlance, one, two, three Dragonlance books. Then they did one Greyhawk, and then one, two, three, four, five, six generic D&D. They did 13th Century Japan. Then they did Ravenloft, Kingdom of Sorcerer trilogy, volumes 1, 2, and 3, and then they did Mystara. And one Forgotten Realms was the only one they did. Spawn of the Dragon Spear, which is the one that Liam did over on his channel, was the Forgotten Realms one. So the Ghost Tower of Inverness was the second adventure module published, and it used the Greyhawk campaign setting. It says the module's title refers to an ancient magical tower located in the southern Aborals Hills. Oh. It says here the player characters go on a quest to find the fabled Soul Gem, a legendary artifact of great power. They must gather the four parts of a key, granting them entrance to the Ghost Tower. It says Inverness was the fortress of the great wizard Gallup Dredel, whose magic raised a great stone tower within a formidable keep. The tower was built to house Gallup Dredel's most prized possession, an eldritch jewel called the Soul Gem, which could seal life from any creature. The monsters and magic at the tower kept the gem safe for many years, but when Gallop Dreidel vanished, Inverness was seized, and its tower was destroyed. No sign of the soul gem was ever found, but local folk talk of seeing a ghostly vision of the Tower of Inverness in fog-shrouded nights. Seeking to discover where the soul gem was hidden, the characters descend beneath the ruined tower, discovering four pieces of magical metal that bond together to form a key. That key opens the doors to a central chamber beneath the tower, which holds a time portal that takes the characters back to the age when the Towers of Inverness were still standing. Each level of the tower is a deadly gauntlet meant to destroy intruders, passing through levels of earth, air, fire, and water, the latter featuring reverse gravity. Ooh. Eventually, it leads the characters to the top of the tower, which is where the soul gem is located, but its magic tries to seal the soul of the characters even as they try to claim it. That's really cool. Even though not all of these have descriptions like this one, you can go through and read up on these. Because again, as huge of a fan as I am of the AD&D series, and I literally have all the tabletop books, I never knew about these. So apparently, I'm not as big of a fan as I thought I was. Legacy, it says here, it was mentioned in the 2005 movie, The Wrath of the Dragon God, which is a really bad movie, by the way. As bad as the as bad as the film version was, the two follow-up um, straight to DVD films were really bad too. It says in 2003, the RPG Living Greyhawk campaign released the adventure Return of the Ghost Stars of Inverness, written by Creighton Broadhurst and Steve Pierce. It was a 4-hour adventure, advancing the story several years and featuring encounters based on what would remain of the tower after the original expedition. Huh. In any case, um, there's a slew of these available in collector form if you can find them, but they're not cheap. So I went looking and I was like, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a couple of these, but alas, I am not going to be spending that kind of money on something at the moment. But it's good to know that they exist out there, and I might choose to invest in these in the future. But for the meantime, I just thought it was cool to know about because I came into this having no idea that these even existed. And I like the format a little bit more. Watching Liam play through that one with his wife, I like them more because it's not just choose your own adventure where it's like, if you choose 10, go to page 7. If you choose 11, go to page 22. Like, you get more of a straightforward kind of story-based adventure, which you can just read through, and you're rolling dice the whole time that you go. So it makes it more of an involved storyline as opposed to just choose your own adventure. I thought it was worth talking about. I don't know if you know about it. If you do, let me know in the comments below. Um, I'd love to know more. Are there any other games that do this, or was this something that only D&D did? Like, has Pathfinder ever done anything like this, or Castles and Crusades? If you've got information about other things like this that you'd like me to cover here in one of my video series, drop them down in the comments below and we'll talk about it. In the meantime, if you are here for the live stream, we're going to be continuing onwards. If you're here for the episode, this is where we're going to cut off this particular episode and move on. So if you liked what you saw here today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Don't forget you can support in all the ways listed down below. There's a Patreon page for our tabletop world and a Discord, so hopefully we'll see you there as well. And in the meantime, hopefully everybody has a safe and good weekend here. Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there.